you know.
Mhm.
And I started to listen at him, to listen Lou Rhodes, Earth, Wind& Fire, Sister Sledge, all the disco funk. And for me was another world, all this progression, the harmonies was amazing for me.
Having a lot of musical influences in your background is
Yeah,
helpful. Um, but the biggest thing is, and you didn't grow up having to do this, but a lot of old school DJs, they had to find record. They were influenced by what they heard on the radio or what they heard in
yeah,
the nightclubs. But what you heard in the nightclubs wasn't always what was played on the radio.
yeah,
So if you heard it in the nightclubs and you said, I want to go find that music, where do I go get it? You didn't go to the tape store, the CD store. You had to go to, obviously, to the record store. And if they had that record in the commercial record store, which they probably didn't, you had to kind of search for it and find that music and put together that
yeah,
collection. And
yeah,
nowadays, artists, DJs can just go and download the latest track off of Beats, or
yeah.
right. I'm confusing Beat
Don't worry.
Track Source with Beat.
And Beatport, yeah. Beatport.
But no, I was just talking with somebody recently, and they love going to Track Source
Yeah,
to get their house music. And the accessibility to music it lowers the barrier to entry, not only for people to get music and play it,
yeah,
but for people to listen to it as well
yeah.
and create that genre. Now, when you get on stage, are you the same person in life that you are when you get on stage, or does HAXHIA take on a different persona when on stage?
No, I'm a different person on stage because in the private life, I'm a little bit shy, reserved. So when I come up to the stage, I am another person. I'm euphoric. I want to, like exchange my emotion with the people in front of me, and I'm not the same person.
Nice. That happens. I mean, a lot of people think of me as being a personality, or being on the show, or being an artist. I'm kind of I like to kick back and chill and watch movies and make food and do things like that. So, entertainment has that duality to it, that people get a
Yeah,
perception of, oh, you must be a partier because you're on stage and you're at the parties and you're DJing and doing stuff. And it's like, no, when I do my jobs, like I said, I get to Amsterdam for ADE. I do work, then I go
yeah,
have fun. you know,
yeah,
so,
yeah. Right.
um, who has been your biggest influence when it comes to your career as an artist, producer, DJ, and why?
I think for me, uh, if I have to pick a DJ, I pick Bob Sinclair because I started to listen his music, but also all the catalog of the Defected Records for me is so inspiring. Yeah,
We're really honored to be working with somebody who worked with Defected for a while, as I was
okay.
telling you a little bit about pre-show.
Yeah,
Can't announce it just yet, but there's always hints at the DJsessions.com. And if you look at
yeah,
the intro of our series today, which was new and updated, including that origami management logo
yeah.
there, it fell right in line with that.
Nice.
So go back and watch the show again, and you'll find out who we're working with.
Yeah,
But that being said, yeah, Defected is really awesome. And
yeah,
there could be, I've had people come on the show and say it was my cousin, or it was my aunt, it was my dad or mom, I was
yeah.
my high school music teacher, or somebody I ran into that was a DJ at a club. Has
Okay.
been their biggest influence. It doesn't have to be a superstar, person,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's been somebody that really motivates you to keep going, and
yeah.
says, I want to kind of get to that level. You know, beyond the entertainment and the collaborations and the releases, we'll get into some of those collaborations and releases in just a few moments, but beyond the entertainment, what is this music, what does all this mean to you as a whole?
So for me, music, and first, it's emotion, and and to share with the people your emotion. If you live happy, the people, you won. For me. So yeah, emotion first, and also to every time I listen a track, I thought how this artist wrote this track, how is thought inside him before to write this track, you know. So the psychological and the emotional part.
You know, that's the one thing I love about electronic music too, and me being a fan of it for so long, is that a well-produced electronic music track can stand the test of time.
Yeah.
You have tracks, I could go back and take somebody to a track that came out in, let's say 1997, play
Okay.
that track today, and they would think, did that just come out yesterday? And they wouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's so much music being created out there. You could have stuff that's old, even though it's old, you can hear the old stuff. I mean, I listen to a lot of 80s
Yeah.
music and 70s.
Yeah.
You can hear the
Me
80s
too.
synthesizer.
Yeah.
You know, you can hear that like certain level that they didn't drop the bass or didn't the way they mastered it back then,
Yeah.
as according to now. But around the late 90s, it becomes kind of discernible because of the digital age coming into play and
Yeah.
the techniques. You know, that maybe they've changed over time. I'm not a producer. Don't cut me up out there, you master engineers and
Yeah.
producers out there. But you know, you might be able to hear. Okay, I get it. I can hear that is probably from the late 90s. This is from the 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, this is from 2010. This is from 2020. You know, but I mean, the rise of electronic music in the last 20 years. It is now outperforming at the major festivals, not the major electronic music festivals, but even the major music festivals as the top genre that's getting the bookings for those shows. So obviously see that rise come up, and I personally don't think it's going to go anywhere, because electronic music, the thing I love about it is that to me it withstands not only the test of time, but it breaks down the gaps between what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want to say just nationalities, but it breaks down between language barriers, because I can listen to some song here, somebody could listen to the same song in Italy, somebody could listen to the same song in Tokyo. We're all listening to the same thing. There's no necessarily words behind it.
It's a universal language.
Thank you. That's the word right there. It's a universal language. That's what I was looking for. It's universal, whereas you might have different translations that don't exactly work out from language to language to language. You know, I was watching K-pop Demon Hunters the other day, and you know, I love going to the Korean barbecue as much as any other one else, and they play a lot of K-pop in the background. And I watch some of those videos, and I'm like, that's a really kick-ass video, but I have no idea what they're saying. You know, and how do they translate that into English? And I'm like, well, okay, it's still a kick-ass video, because I'm a video guy. So
yeah.
And then, you know, you mentioned the emotional side of things, but what is your personal connection when it comes to music? And is it something you use as kind of a meditative or an outlet, to a creative outlet for you, or what's the connection there for you, as opposed to beyond the brand, or is that the emotional connection is the personal connection?
I think that for me, the personal connection is when you put a track and you see the crowd reaction that follow your reaction. So, you know, so like we are on the same journey and you follow me on this journey with the same emotion, with the same energy. I think that it's the perfect party.
That is one of the things I've heard that's very key since I first started doing a DJ show. I never really interviewed and got too in depth with DJs, because you used to only get 5 or 7 minutes with DJs backstage or at a club. I never got to sit down with them and talk with them for an hour at a time. But in the beginning stages, you know, the one thing was searching for your music, finding your music, and then you know, but being able to tell a story with the music.
Yeah, exactly.
And take them on a journey. And a lot of my sets on the show, on the DJ sessions, I used to do 1 hour sets, because it was supposed to be a taste of the DJ. Interview them for 5 minutes, let them play for 45 minutes, and then do an exit interview with them for 5 minutes, rinse, wash, repeat. That was the format of our show. And as of late, the last few years, I actually opened it up and I made it so the DJs play almost 2-hour sets. So they really get a time to take you on a musical journey. I mean, with the exception of our show we did a few weeks ago, the mobile sessions, I had 4 DJs on in 4 hours, so each one got an hour-long set. But traditionally, I like to give that 2-hour breathing room to DJs. And I thought something that was interesting is one of the DJs that played our mobile sessions the other day, they submit me their track list. All 4 of them sent me their track list. One of them submitted me a track list of 12 songs for the hour.
Yeah.
2 of the DJs submitted me track lists of 30 plus songs for each of their hours.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't know, to me, the untrained ear, that you're not looking at it like that. From a DJ perspective, from my perspective, we know you're telling a story.
Yeah.
What is your take? Do you think DJs should maybe go back to telling the story and playing the full track, or samples or short versions of a track if they can mix the story well?
Yeah, because I think that I'm a long track guy. I like to leave the track 3-4 minutes because I don't like to put verse drop, verse drop, verse drop. You can't build a journey with this perspective of DJ set. You have to leave the track, and the people have to listen the break, because it's the best part of the song,
Yeah.
So you have to, because in the break part, all the emotion comes up. So you have to create this journey. You can't put only verse and drop, verse and drop, verse and drop. For me, it's not a DJ set, but...
I witnessed that starting to happen, and maybe it was happening way before I saw this. It was maybe back in Vegas in 2009. And I noticed, I think a lot of DJs that I would go to, electronic music DJs, were playing a lot of trance at that time. I was listening to a lot of trance in the clubs, house music as well. And you're right, it was telling that story, letting the full track play out. But when I went to Vegas, they'd play like 30 seconds or a minute of a track. The typical mashup is what you hear. But they have to cater to so many different audiences that are coming from all over the nation, if not over the world, and get that little bit and keep it hype, little bit, keep it hype, little bit, keep it hype.
Yeah.
You never got to hear the whole song play out. And it's like that to me, I'm not knocking anyone's style, but it was like, let the song play out,
Yeah, keep the track breathe.
Yeah, let it breathe. Perfect, like a good glass of wine or a good bottle of wine, which I'll probably have some when I come over to Italy with you and the Origami management team. Yeah, so
we can do a nice trip around Rome and Tuscany with the wine. That's so amazing here, the wine,
Definitely looking forward to doing that. So we got to let it breathe when you come to Italy. You got to let it breathe on the decks.
Yes, of course,
let it breathe. If you could change one thing that bothers you from the electronic music scene, what would that be, and how would you go about it?
I think the fast life of the releases. You have to release like nowadays 1 track at month, or there are so many DJs that release also 1 track for a week. It's okay for the new market, but you have to push yourself in a wrong way, because you can stay all the time at this level to produce every week a track. This is my personal opinion, but I think that we have to take it slow a little bit, for me.
I can relate to that, at least being consistency. When I talk to a lot of podcasters and give them advice on their podcast, one of the first things after we determine determining what their topic is going to be, find out if there's somebody else already covering that topic, and kind of guiding them to reach out and prepare their shows so they know what they're going to be talking about. So it isn't just a who, what, why, where, when, and you do all the talking and I'll just sit back and say, when did and make it an engaging podcast. Is next thing you got to set up is your schedule. How often are you going to put out a podcast? And if somebody comes to me and says, I'm going to put out a podcast once a month, I go,
Okay.
you're not going to have anyone listening to you. Unless you were interviewing the leader of the wannabe leader of the free world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking a pot shot there, but I won't name who it is. Unless you're getting some really big celebrities and it's exclusive interviews that you're doing once a month, you have to be at least on a schedule of at least once a week. You know,
Yeah.
to even keep that frequency going, so people will tune in next week, and then you got to figure out before that, how long your podcast is going to be. You know, if it's going to be 15 minutes, it's going to be 30,
Yeah.
it's going to be an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. And then once you've got all that determined, you got to plan that in your schedule and don't expect to be an overnight sensation.
Yeah.
It takes time to build your library up, because while you're doing all this, it could be 6 months, it could be a year down the road, but just keep going with it. Build your library, because as you build fans, they'll go back and listen to your previous episodes and be like, this person knows what they're talking about. So when it comes to me and the DJ sessions, we're ramping up to produce 60 hours of content by the end of the year, a month. And by the middle of next quarter, by February, our goal is to be at 100 hours of content, because I want to be able to set myself aside tongue twisted here, set myself at a higher, oh God, why am I pulling a tongue twister here right now? I want to differentiate myself from the other podcasts out there, because I want people to come back daily, if not in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, so I can relate to wanting to always be inconsistent, what you said there, with at least once a month. But I can see why DJs want to push stuff out once a week.
But you can do it, but you have to keep the quality high, you know?
Exactly. And I was talking with Peter Mack from MN2S the other day, and he goes, you know, he wasn't trying to be mean to anyone, because the quality of what's being put out there now is just, there's so much garbage you got to sort through to find the good stuff, because it's easy for anyone just to publish. You know, so, you know, that being said, you know, finding the good stuff is hard, or just producing good stuff and that people know you're producing good stuff. You know, I don't know, producing a song a week, I could produce a song in 6 months probably. If I try.
But I think that if nowadays, if you are an upcoming DJs like me, you have to stay at this level, because you have to grow your you know, your followers, your public, but you have to keep how I said before, the quality of the tracks, because I love to put so much quality in my tracks. So if it's not good for me at 100%, I don't release.
Yeah. And it does have to be right. And I know a lot of DJs, I know from my industry, from a filmmaking standpoint, a lot of people will make their film and have done this, and then they would sit on it and they wouldn't share it. Before YouTube, there was no distribution to get stuff out there unless you put it into a film contest and hope they screen it. Maybe they put it on the screen and you get a viewing for that one film festival, but you may have submitted 100 copies. But now with YouTube and Beatport and everyone just going out of the gate, I finished it. Maybe it wasn't done. Maybe it wasn't finished, but they do it anyways just to push something out.
Yeah. Of course.
Rather than take time. One of our artists is looking for a really good master engineer to come in and master his tracks before he releases them, because his ear may be great, but I want somebody else to do that.
Of course,
do you do all your own mastering, or do you send it out to somebody to master your tracks?
I try to make an in-depth mix and mastering, and after I put it out, because, you know, when you are an artist, you are so you have a strong bond with the track, so you are not how to say it, you're not able to say this is technically good, this is technically not good, and I prefer to give to another person for make this work, for be at the 100% professional, you know.
Yeah, I always, sometimes now when I write stuff, I have to give it to somebody else to proofread it, because what I might think is awesome, I might not even know. I mean, at least I'll throw it into Google Docs And
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
like Google Docs, and I go, I didn't even see that I spelt the word because 5 times wrong because I'm doing my typos and I'm just not noticing them, and then I drop it over and I go, oh, okay. I gotta remember something. It's just typos, having that proofreading, especially if something's gonna go live online as an article. But same with
Yeah, yeah,
music,
yeah.
you want to make sure that everything is right there and it's tight. Do you do the when it comes to audio testing?
Okay.
Do you get to do the car test?
Yeah, every day,
Eh,
every time I do the car test, the iPods test, the phone test, all the tests possible, you know?
All the tests. Yeah, that was
Yeah, yeah,
something that
yeah, yeah.
somebody dropped that on me a few years back. They said, I do not let anything go out unless I listen to it in my car. And I went, I never thought about that. Or even some people have multiple sets of headphones. You go, what does it sound like in
Yeah,
these ones? What does it sound like these ones? What does it sound like on the phone? And I'm like, wow, that's taking it to a whole nother level, but that's awesome. By the way, if you could describe your music in 3 words, what would you call it?
so I think in 3 words, uh, energetic, emotional, and you know, uh, and with a strong bond with my origins.
Hmm.
Because I released my last track a few months ago on Leonidas Records called Arem, and I tried to put my Balkan origin style, these flutes and folk guitars with the tech house, and this is a genre that I'm trying to develop, and so these are the 3 words for me.
Those are 3 great words. I can't wait to come see you perform live in Italy doing
Would be
all
a
that.
pleasure.
Now, how did you get involved with origami management and Leandro
Okay.
da Silva? I
Yeah,
said it right
yeah,
this time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Da Silva.
Yeah, the Silva. So we chatted on Instagram. We started to make the first uh, call call chat, on WhatsApp for know what I'm doing, my musical styles, and I found a very strong and big team. They are so amazing people, so professional. A big shout to Leandro, Alessandro, and Gioia. Thank you for all. And also, I met at the ADE the first time all the artists of the management, and they are also amazing people and amazing artists. So we are a very big, strong family. I'm so glad to be in there.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I always promote, especially with the DJ sessions when it first started out, was that sense of family, teamwork, of working and
Yeah,
other DJs working together um, to help uplift their networking skills or their networking
yeah, yeah, yeah,
opportunities or promote them to the world. Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we started this show in my living room, and then moved it a week
Yeah,
later to my bedroom, and then we started getting bigger name artists on the show, and the idea, and then started taking other people from around the city of Seattle and having them
yeah,
collaborate together and doing shows together with us, and to highlight the showcase the great talent that was here in the Seattle area to the world.
yeah,
Now, 16 years later, we're taking a much more international approach and working with companies
yeah,
like Origami and
yeah,
highlighting
yeah,
what you're doing, especially those awesome. I heard that it went down really well. It was fun. So we're going to be getting some exclusive mixes from the Origami team,
yeah. It would be amazing.
Origami management team, to put up here on the DJ session soon.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
super
yeah, yeah,
excited for that, and the
yeah.
partnership we'll
Me
be
too,
working
me.
with Leandro,
Yeah,
having you on the show. We just had Andrea Costa on the show. I
yeah,
know we've had a couple others as well, and hint, hint, working with some of the labels that Origami Management works with as well.
yeah.
Hint, hint, some new things are coming out on the site. We're super excited to be working with that. But how has that inspired you? How has that been? Or let me ask you this: it's been beneficial for you, but how has it been beneficial for you working with a company like Origami and that team?
So for me, because they help me from to technical part of a production music, how to mix a vocal, how to mix a bass, to how to put a post on Instagram. They helped me at 360 degree. So it's very amazing to collaborate with them, and also for the musical advice, and also for the artistic part on the social media advices. So they're so amazing for this, for me, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And management can come in so many different forms. Like artists don't understand that really to do this, and I've told a lot of people this, the entertainment game is, you could have 1 million people out there that are all talented, equally, boom, right? They're talented.
Yeah.
But if you have 100,000 people that are putting $10,000 into their profession, they're going to step themselves up just a little bit higher than 1 million people. And then if you have 10,000 people put in, say, $20,000 or $30,000, they're going to be a little higher up than those 100,000. And I'm not trying to say this game is a money game or a cash grab, but in order to make it successful, you have to have a team around you helping you out. So only so much can be done for free, and that can take having a management team, that can take having a PR person, that can take having a booking manager, that can take having a mastering engineer, that can take managing your website and doing, that kind of development for you to make sure all of that is cohesive. And all those people deserve paychecks. I recently found a few months back that while I wear many different hats on what I do, I have about 14 other people in my team. This is an expert there. This is an expert there. This is an expert there. And not one of them would I ever take. Say if I had A, I would never take A over to B. Not for micromanagement. It's just because I want B to be 100% knowledgeable on what they do, and A is 100% knowledgeable. They could probably do it, but why not just have your team of experts around you to make things happen?
Yeah, because nowadays it's very difficult to be a one-man show, because you have to produce the track, you have to promote the track, you have to promote your social media, you have to make your flyer, you have to make your Instagram and social contents. I made also this, but with management is better, I think.
Yeah, especially if the tools are there and they're helping you out on the back end. One of the companies we work with too is MN2S, and they're directly with their label services division. And people don't understand. You can push a track to Beatport, you can get it out there, but other companies may know how to get that really out there, up in the chart, and get it up there, because that's what they have somebody focusing on doing that. Whereas you're just uploading, it's like, oh, it lived here. Where does it go now?
Yeah, because there is so much competition. You need a strategy.
A strategy, exactly.
So, yeah,
it's huge. And what are your future plans with Oregon? Is there anything you can announce that you have that you're working on that you can tell our DJ Sessions fans about today?
I can tell that in a few days I'm gonna release a new track with Amlex. And it's another artist of origami, called Break It Down, and will be out the 5th of November. I hope you like it. It's like a tech house with techno influences, and I hope you like it.
I'm going to ask you, it's not a trick question, but it's kind of a loaded question. It's a question that I've been asked before several times on the DJ Sessions. And the question for me, it comes in the form of, what was your favorite episode, or who was your favorite person you've ever met on the show? And the question I ask producers is, I say, if you had to pick one of your productions as your most favorite one, which one would that be? And what's the thought behind it being your most favorite question, or your favorite track? Not favorite question. That's my favorite question.
Yeah, I think that for me, my favorite production now, it's the last that I released, RM, because, how I said before, it's the first track where I try to mix my origins with tech house music. So for me, it's very important, this. So I say RM.
Right on.
Yeah.
And how do you balance your producer life with all your other obligations that you have going on? Do you work a day job, or you get to do this full time, or how do you manage all that?
No, I I have not so much problem because I finished my studies this summer because I moved from Tuscany to Milan for study music production and sound engineering. I studied
Okay.
3 years in Milan and I finished this summer. So I'm trying to improve now my technical and musical skills, you know?
Nice.
So I stay focused all the day to music production.
There you go. And in taking that music production, like we mentioned a few times early in the show, going on a trip. I mean, to me, it's a little far because I think it's about a 14-hour flight. To you, it's a few-hour flight. It shouldn't be that far. But your first participation at ADE this year with Origami Management, you
Yeah.
know, what did that mean to you personally? I mean, obviously, you knew about ADE before you'd gone to ADE,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
was that something when you were first DJing, in your early years, saying, "I want to go to ADE, I want to play there sometime"? Was that on the roadmap, or something that just fell into your lap in the last like partnership with Origami in the last few months or
Oh,
years that you've been working with them?
so for me was a truly honor to participate to AD because I think that for the DJ is one of the biggest dream to have to play in this conference and festival, you know. And I see this first ID like the point of start for me because I'm young. I started a few years ago uh, to music production, you know, so I have to keep going and stay focused to the music. It's nice, but I have to improve all my skill uh, of my connections with the music, you know. So I'm grateful to Origami for this opportunity. Very, very grateful, and I hope to make another AD with them.
Hey, do you ever get nervous before a performance?
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. The hour before the show, I'm a little bit nervous, but
Mhm.
when I come to the stage, I change personality like this, you know. So the problem is the hour before the show.
You
When
know,
I come to the stage, it's okay for me. All
you
the
know, I
stress
heard.
go away.
Excuse me. I heard some
Don't
DJs this
worry,
year
man.
were having a few little troubles at the DJ booths because a lot of places may have been using the 3000s, and
Okay, yeah,
their
the
drives weren't
USB.
formatted for it. So they'd get up and get ready to play, and nobody had done a sound check or checked it beforehand. They get up there, and it was like, your drive isn't working. But something
Yeah,
just got, I can't remember the company's name off the top of my head, but apparently they're trying to make it so that you can make your tracks and everything, and it'll be universal. It'll play on everywhere the same way. Did you hear anything about that, or see that, or witness anything like that there at ADE?
for the USB device.
Yeah, did
Uh,
anyone's show got caught up by putting in a drive and like, oh, this doesn't work?
No, no, in real, but on the social media, yes, I
Yeah,
saw
on
it.
social media, yeah.
Some big DJs had this problem because I saw that Recordbox made an update a few months ago for a new library for the new console generation. You know, you have to update your library to the Library Plus. It's called.
Yes, Library Plus. That's
So,
right.
so you have to make this update for play on the new CDJs or the new ways the new compact console of the Alpha Theta, you know.
Mhm.
So there were many problems I saw on the social media.
Well, that would make somebody nervous on stage, I think. you know, who's the most inspiring person you've ever met backstage? And tell us why that person was such an inspiration to you.
I met during the last CMS Simon Dunmore, and I spoke with him about the new generation of DJs, the evolution of the music industry, the evolution of the house music, and he gives me some good advice for this. I'm so grateful of this opportunity, and he was so inspiring to me because I said before, I'm a big Defected fan since I was a child. So for me, it was an honor to meet him.
Nice. And you mentioned that was at IMS. Was that IMS Ibiza or
Yeah,
IMS?
yeah, Ibiza. Yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah, yeah.
is that the only place that it's handled? I thought IMS is done in a few different places.
For the parties, but for the conference, it's in a big resort. In I don't remember the Cala Longa in Cala Longa, a big resort in Cala Longa, and it's all in this resort. And the parties are all around the island.
Okay, because I saw something online. It said IMS over here, and I go, I thought IMS was in Ibiza, and I was like,
Yes, because they made the EMS Dubai also.
think that's what it was. It was IMS Dubai. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay, well, wait a second. Which one do I go to now?
yeah,
Because I mean, I would love to go to Dubai. I think that would be just such an amazing experience.
yeah,
I would just love to go completely outside of show reasons or music reasons, just to see the architecture alone. I think would
yeah,
just be amazing. Like, I mean, I remember seeing pictures of Dubai when it was like just desert, nothing, and then you look at
yeah. Like
and I was
30
like,
years ago. Yeah,
whoa, yeah,
yeah,
like what did you say, 30 years ago?
yeah. Like
Yeah,
30 years ago.
nothing. So do you have some live performances? Are you on tour? Are you booking shows currently right now? Are you doing a European tour? Anything on the works?
Now after AD, I have a rest period, so to stay relaxed and to focus to the music production. I have few demos to release in the second month, so not very big show now, but I'm focused on the production for the moment. For the moment.
I know how decompression goes. It happens. I mean,
Yeah,
I think I was telling you pre-show that my decompression from last year of going to Rave the Planet with Riverside Studios, what I thought, and it was also my 50th birthday. I was this close to going to Ibiza for my 50th birthday because it was right after the
yeah.
Florida
Oh,
meeting.
amazing.
I had to fly back home. Well, it was going to cost me like $2,300, $2,400 to fly home from
Oh,
Ibiza. And I was like, I didn't have time to
yeah,
plan it and route it all out. I could have probably done it, but I was like, yeah. But I'll make it back there. But you know, I came back and what I thought was going to be a 2-week decompression,
yeah,
3-week decompression turned into 2 months, and then turned into 4 months, and then turned into 6 months. And I was like, I tell people all the time, I didn't sit in this chair for 8.5 months. No interviews, no looking, no doing anything. I just kind of
yeah,
disappeared. I needed that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
real
yeah,
decompression to kind of
yeah,
figure out where things were going. Come back and take in all the information you learned, especially
yeah,
at a conference like ADE with so many. You got performances going on, networking going on, sights and sounds that you've never seen before happening. It just
yeah,
takes time to come back and let it all soak in. I totally understand that. So keep the momentum going.
yeah,
Keep
yeah.
things going, keep the excitement going. I was going to ask you, in your downtime or when you're not like producing stuff, do you listen to podcasts or live streams?
Yeah, 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 I do. I
What are
do.
your top three you listen to?
I haven't a particular podcast, but I like to listen. The crime story.
Okay.
It's for me. It's so interesting to listen this true crime story.
So
Or see
non,
also
yeah.
series on Netflix on Prime Video about these stories.
So no, it's not music podcasts or live streams.
No,
You're
no,
listening to
no.
crime story. That's your
Yeah,
okay, cool. Crime stories. I'll remember that one.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know about before we let you go?
I think that I don't know, man. I say the most important things of my artistic journey, so it's okay for me.
No, it's okay. We're going to follow up with you. We always love talking to new and up and coming stars, rising stars on the show.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your partnership and making it through your first ADE and your first
Thank you very
interview, I
much.
might add.
Thank you. Yeah,
You did
yeah, yeah.
great.
It's my first
You know,
interview. Yeah, thank you very much.
where's the best place people can go to find out more information about you and what you got going on?
Yeah, for me, Instagram. On my Instagram, HAXHIA Music, you can find me,
Mhm.
and you can see all my Russian stuffs. You can find my short video from DJ set from AD, and
Mhm.
also more contents about my music journey.
Awesome. And that's HAXHIA
Yeah,
Music,
music.
MUSIC. All right, at
Yeah,
Instagram. Well, Oxia, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We definitely will be following up with you because we are kind of related now in partnership
yeah,
with
yeah,
Origami Management. Super excited to see
yeah,
everything they got coming out for the rest of the year and the future.
yeah.
So thank you for coming
Thank
on
you.
the show today.
Thank you so much for having me, Darren. It was a pleasure to meet you, to make this first interview with you.
Absolutely,
Thank
it'll
you
be
so
fun.
much.
It was fun. Thank
Thank
you. On
thank
that
you.
note, don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. You can find live interviews just like this one, exclusive mixes, even ones filmed from ADE and delivered right to us because we love doing things like that. But also 700 news stories a month, our merch store, our new music section coming soon, along with our internet station. We have a virtual reality nightclub. We have a mobile app. We had a bunch of different stuff. But all of that and our social medias are at thedjsessions.com. I'm your host, Darren, coming to you from the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, and coming in all the way from Tuscany, Italy. We have Oxia from Origami Management on the DJ sessions. And
Bye,
remember,
guys.
on the DJ sessions, the music never stops.